If you really believe in something, it could be yours. That's how we've been conditioned to think. Mostly. I suppose it's a coping mechanism to keep us from eating the rich. We all think we'll be rich enough someday if we just went hard enough. How long has it been since there's been a good old-fashioned culling of the wealthy elite? That probably wasn't a good way to start this blog post. I'm more than a little tired, but fuck it. I'm leaving it. Corruptus. That was the subject of an email I received before my ISP dropped me. My phone turned into a brick the same day. Hell, I think it was the same precise moment, though it's difficult to know for sure since I only tried it after my laptop wouldn't connect. Corruptus. I never heard the word before, and to be honest, I'm not exactly sure it is a word at all. It could be Latin, and it sounds like Latin. I haven't been able to look it up. And this is the first time I'm getting on the web since my unexpected removal from the grid. I tried to sign out at the local library, by the way. My card was revoked. Unpaid late fees for books I never read, much less checked out. Mostly borderline fetish material and self-help books for various mental illnesses. The apparently quite detailed tome of weapons of mass destruction seemed to be one of the most concerned for the librarian. I hung around the library for maybe half an hour until someone left a computer logged on and unguarded. I went to check my email to tweet a complaint about what happened. Those accounts were gone as well. Honestly, I was a pretty huge dumbass for expecting them to be there. It wasn't long before I noticed the computer's rightful owner pointing me out at the front desk. I guess she wasn't a fan of the direct approach, and I was out the door before anyone could cause a real fuss. It has been over 2 years since I left Mowgli's palace. I never looked back. The original blog post has come and gone so much across so many different sites that I barely remember the first place I tried to host it. If I had known how far this would go, I don't know if I would have been able to hack out that clumsy, flawed account of what happened. The pressure would have been too great. And I suppose there's a certain level of comfort that comes from the idea that no one will actually see or care about your work. It seems a lot of the sites remove the information, either upon direct request from Disney or in fear of their own reprisal. I know a really popular YouTuber who pulled readings of my posts from his channel. The rumor was that someone threatened to sue him. Some supposed author of the story. Bullshit. I know firsthand they took it down in a bout of pants-shitting fear when he realized Disney's connection to his parent company. I tried to keep my after Abandoned blog for a while. I don't know how many people out there saw my notes on Room Zero, Club 22, and so on. They're still around if you look, at least at the time of this writing. Yes, Club 22 exists. No, it's not a typo of Club 33. I later learned from the same contact that there's an 11 as well. And supposedly the debauchery only grows as the number gets lower. I heard of a Club 00, but I cannot confirm that as clearly as I can with the previous contact. I don't know if there is any connection to the room of a similar name. Yes, the door probably said characters or cast members instead of mascots. I know. I hear you all. Thank you so much for that. I'm sure your memory is crystal clear in the moment of abject terror, right? Overall, I'm glad that my words have spread so far and wide. But the downside to all of this is that so few of you are taking this seriously. Treasure Island? Real. Utilidors? Real. Just because you can't substantiate the rest doesn't mean it's a cool story. Instead of picking apart the inaccuracies and making games about how cool it would have been to be in my position, maybe people can start taking this seriously and digging into what's going on. Maybe? I don't know. I don't want this to be a rant. I want to stay focused and make sure I post exactly what I wanted to make public. All the stress, the stalkers, the phone calls, the broken windows. I know that's all supposed to keep me off track. They want me confused, scared, and most of all, they want me quiet. There's a team of men and women in suits that I've seen at random times, here and there. I call them a focus group, because they pop up with clipboards and pens, taking notes about everything I do. They all have the same outfits, the same thick-rimmed nerd glasses, the same red pens that scream, "We're judging you." The first time I noticed them, they were following me through the mall. I looped and turned, trying to be sure that they were following me. And there they were, every step of the way. Days later, I spotted them again in a laundromat window across from my new apartment. I chased one down, once. Tubby's one. They all stay silent through the entire chase, and even the scuffle that ensued. When I rinsed the clipboard from his hand, I only found page after page of off-Hitler random gibberish, coupled together with crude Mickey silhouettes. All in the same red ink. I know it sounds the same. To say a group of people, of men and women in black, are following me and taking nonsense notes. But I think that's the point. I think the idea is that it should drive me insane. And if it doesn't, you'll still think I'm crazy for saying it. It's a no-win situation. I'll forever regret that trip to Emerald Isle. But on the other hand, I'll always be grateful to the people that have come forward anonymously to share their experiences with me. Whoever mailed me the suggestion box from the resort is basically my hero at this point. To read what I've written about the place and still brave the journey. I can't imagine how that felt, whoever you may be. You even left the original coordinate lock in the box, so I know it was legit. To do all that without taking a good look inside yourself must have been really hard. Thank you. If you haven't noticed, I'm treating this post a lot like my final installment. And there's a reason for that. I don't know how long I can keep subverting Disney's attempts at silencing me before some type of final action is taken. I have no doubt somewhere that at this very moment someone is using my identity to commit a crime that would discredit me. That or the men in white jackets about to show me a lovely, padded cell. I don't know what's going to come of this. That's the worst part, I suppose. All I know is that it's coming. So, what is Corruptus? Well, as I mentioned, it was in the title of an email I received, one that was presumably deleted along with my account. It was blank. It seemed to exist for the sole purpose of placing an attached document in my hands. Too bad for the powers that be. I already printed it the moment I saw it. Not much they can do to reverse that, can they? Now, I should have mentioned. Remember that library? I used their copier to run off a few thousand duplicates of that letter. A few hundred are stapled in random places, and another few hundred were passed out to random people. And the rest? Let's just leave those as a little surprise. Have fun trying to stifle out, you mouse fuckers. Without any more rambling, here's the letter. Word for word. It arrived from a source whose email I won't disclose, though I assume it's an untraceable dummy account anyway. Summation for Corruptus incidents for January 2017. Known Corruptus incidents up to and including January 2015. Treasure Island. Extreme agitation / inappropriate activity within vulture population. Mild to moderate agitation / inappropriate human activity. Resolve Corruptus. Unidentified avian species. Abandoned. Final. Disney Pop Country Resort. Misplaced immobile objects. Chronological displacement. Unresolved Corruptus. Wandering entity. Pending. Disney River Country. Microorganism infestation. Unresolved Corruptus. Clear Man, aka See-Through Man, aka Friendly John. Abandoned. Final. ImageWorks, the What If Labs, 2nd floor. Multiple missing person reports regarding Dreamfinder School of Drama. Pin screen fatality. Vibrating mirror sickness. Unresolved Corruptus. Willy Wizard installation. Abandoned. Final. Mowgli's Palace. Auditory hallucination or projection. Misplaced immobile objects. Moderate to severe agitation / inappropriate human activity. Unresolved Corruptus. Inverted character. Abandoned. Final. The new global neighborhood. Resolve Corruptus. Fiber optic worm. Resolve Corruptus. Digital HAL. Resolved. Repurposed. Room 0. Sudden onset mass hysteria. Auditory hallucination or projection. Unresolved Corruptus. Unknown. Contained. Final. Please note, Nara Dreamland is not an officially licensed Disney park, and no information or resources are to be shared with any responsible for containing its residents. A complete list of suspected Corruptus incidents and reports may be available. It took a few readings before I can get my head around this. Essentially, if the attached file is believed, then the events I experienced were not part of an isolated incident. The events within Room 0, the gas gods, they seem like part of a much larger problem. What is Corruptus? Corruption. I mean, I don't need to run Google Translate for that. Even if I felt like I could take a break from writing without the risk of someone finding and disconnecting me at any moment. Corruptions of what? Dreams? Ideas? Desires? I've never been a religious man, but I was dragged to Sunday school more than enough times to know about golden clouds. False gods created by man, icons, graven images, characters, mascots. If you think about it, Disney's animated films have always had one overriding message. Clap your hands to believe hard enough and Tinkerbell will live. When you wish upon a star, anything your heart desires. People like to say Disney has some connection to Satanism, but I never bought into that, and I still don't. I think they've been trying to create that golden calf, a godlike idol that everyone believes in, one that everyone loves. It's almost as if any dream or idea is shared by enough human hearts and minds with a real chance of being born into the world. The creatures. They exist beyond what I saw with my own eyes. I think that they're deformed half-stars, random manifestations, some dark, unquantifiable non-life that seeped into our state of being. They are mistakes of reality. Cosmic abortions. The corrupted. Did everyone at Emerald Isles harbor such a negative impression of Mowgli's palace? How potent was the fear of nuclear war on the day Room 0 became full? If you want to find gas gods and mysterious forces, does that search bring about the very thing you're looking for? How many children have been disappointed, confused, or scarred for life when they saw Mickey without his head? These are questions I'm never going to be able to answer. I don't know if anyone can. Speaking personally, this will probably be the last time I'll talk to you about Disney and everything I learned about them. I'm truly sorry for that. Especially since there's so much more I can say. Unconfirmed rumors, documents, and items I received that now seem to be gone forever. I thought that they were just trying to contain that Mickey costume. I thought that this went all the way to keep the public in the dark about so much, why they coerced and bullied their way. Now I realize I was wrong. It was this all along. They didn't want anything like this getting out. Oh, that's it for me. I've done all I can. To all of you that has followed my blog post, that has put it on different websites or pages. Thank you. I wish you all good luck. And I know I need the same from you. Oh, and before I forget, to Disney, to everyone affiliated with them,